Hi. First of all, please allow me to welcome you and to congratulate you as you are now part of the growing family of Archipelago Philippine Ferries Corporation or FASTCAT. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Cheryl Irene Banyaria. I am the manager of the HR Development Department. So in this session, I will be explaining to you our employees' code of conduct. At the end of the presentation, if you will have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any clarifications. I will be posting my number at the end of the presentation just in case for your reference. Okay, so I will be sharing my screen. Wait lang po. Okay, so employee code of conduct. Tungkol po ba saan yung employee code of conduct? So, the code of conduct, it is a set of written rules. Basically, ang sinasabi lang dyan sa code of conduct is ito yung acceptable na behavior from all the employees. Ito yung acceptable na actions na ine-expect ng company sa employees. A code of conduct can help guide employees when they make decisions positively impacting their behavior and one of their colleagues. Code of conduct enables the organization to communicate its commitment to discipline and professionalism and can provide clarity on what is considered misconduct. Ang lagi kong ina-advise sa mga employees, treat the code of conduct as your best friend, as this will guide you throughout your employment. If you will just understand kung ano yung nakalagay dun sa code of conduct, hindi ka magkaka-problem later on. Baka ba, if meron confusing on your end, please don't hesitate to ask your supervisor, your superior for clarification. Okay. So, about the code of conduct, scope. Ano ba ang scope ng code of conduct? All employees are bound to comply with all the articles which are listed on this handbook. Ibig sabihin, regardless of your position, regardless of your designation, kahit saan ka nakapost, head office ka ba, sa port, or sa vessel, you are bound by the code of conduct. Kahit pa ikaw yung aming general manager, ikaw ay rank and file or manager, dapat you will abide by what is provided in the code of conduct. Ang code of conduct natin, there are 4 articles. First is acts or omissions concerning company funds or property, acts or omissions affecting company interests, acts or omissions concerning relationship with superiors, and attendance to and performance of assigned duties, and acts or omissions concerning harmony, good order, safety, and decency at work. So yun po yung mga 4 main articles na nasa code of conduct natin. Ano ba yung mga penalties in the code of conduct? First, we have the written reprimand. It is a written warning or memorandum dun sa mga employees na mapapatunayan natin na nagkamali. Suspension naman is a temporary physical detachment from service. Period of suspension is without pay. So in case po na nagkamali tayo and ang naging penalty natin is suspension, syempre during the time na suspended ka, hindi po kayo makaka-receive ng bayad for that. And then, meron din tayong dismissal. This is a dishonorable separation from service. A dismissed employee loses all his or her accrued sick or vacation leave and other leave credits. He or she shall also lose his or her right to separation pay as he is or she is dismissed for a cause. So, if ever po na maging mapatunayan na nagkamali kayo and then the penalty is dismissal, lahat po ng benefits na naipon ninyo, lahat po yun mawawala. Hindi din po kayo magiging entitled sa separation pay. Okay, so kanina nasabi ko na yung mga types of penalties natin. Ngayon naman, meron tayong, ito yung breakdown ng penalties natin. First is yung written reprimand. Tapos next is 3 to 6 days suspension, 7 to 15 days suspension, and then 16 to 30 days suspension. Depending on the gravity nung nagawang pagkakamali, pwedeng 3 to 6 days, 7 to 15 days, or 16 to 30 days suspension lang. Or, pwede din maging dismissal. Meron tayo din tinatawag na multiple infractions. Ano naman po yun? Pag multiple infractions of this code committed by any employee in one single act or incident shall be treated and penalized as separate offenses. Ano po ba ibig sabihin nun? Halimbawa, meron tayong nagawang isang pagkakamali. And then yung pagkakamali na yon ay nasasakop sa, sabihin na natin, 2 violations sa Code of Conduct. And then, magkaiba yung penalty ng dalawa. Kaya kahit na pareho silang 3 to 6 days suspension. So, ang itatrato siya as multiple infraction kahit isa lang yung act. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun, pwede kang masuspend for 3 days para dun sa isang provision ng Code of Conduct and then another 3 days para naman dun sa another provision ng Code of Conduct na nakasakop doon sa pagkakamali. So, in equivalent, pwede kang masuspend for 6 days, for example, dahil lang sa isang pagkakamali. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng multiple infractions. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na mitigating circumstance and aggravating circumstance. So pareho po ito, kino-consider natin yan sa pag-impose ng penalty sa ating employee. Ano po ba yung mitigating circumstance? Basically, yung mitigating circumstance is yun yung mga instances na kino-consider namin kapag nagkamali na pwedeng ibaba yung penalty. So for example, nagkamali si employee. Tapos, pwede nating i-consider yung kanyang loyalty. Loyalty, halimbawa, ang tagal niya na sa company for 10 years na siyang employee. And then for that period na 10 years na yan, never siyang nagkamali. Never siyang nagkaroon ng violation. Kaya lang, nagkaroon ng instance na sunod-sunod na yung kanyang tardiness. So dahil doon, dahil tardiness, nasasakop yan sa Code of Conduct natin. Kapag sunod-sunod na, pwede na siyang magkaroon ng penalty na suspension. So, i-consider namin yung 10 years na loyalty niya, 10 years na wala siyang pagkakamali, pwede namin ibaba yung kanyang suspension. Pwede natin gawin, halimbawa, 7 days and gagawin lang namin 3 days o kaya igagawin namin written reprimand. So, yun yung mitigating circumstance. Next is aggravating circumstance. Ito naman yung mga instances sa pagkakamali na pwede din namin i-consider na kabaliktaran naman ng mitigating circumstance. Ang mangyayari dito is mapapataas yung iyong penalty. So for example, ang iyong penalty lang ay 3 days suspension. Kaya lang nakita namin na sinadya mo talaga na magkamali, sinadya mo yung ginawa mo. So pwede siyang ma-consider na instead na 3 days suspension lang is magiging 7 days suspension na. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng aggravating circumstance. Okay, so with that background or with that explanation, i-explain ko na po sa inyo isa-isa kung ano yung mga violations na pwede nating makommit under our Code of Conduct. So sabi ko nga kanina, we have 4 articles. So one by one, I will be discussing all the sections under each article. So let's start with Article 1. Article 1, acts or omissions concerning company funds or property. Ano po ba to? Ito yung mga violations na pwede nating magawa na may kinalaman sa company funds or company property. Ano po ba yung company property at company funds? Company property, of course, first and foremost, yung ating barko. Anything na nandyan sa barko, whether the barko itself, whether yung upuan dyan, whether yung mga documents natin sa loob ng barko, yung mga flags, o kaya yung mga tools natin, all of those are considered company property. Yung oil, yung tubig, yon ay considered as company property. What about cash? Cash, aside from it being company funds, considered din yan, of course, as company property. Okay, so let's start. Section 1, stealing and misappropriating or embezzling company funds or property. Of course, kapag po tayo'y nagnakaw, of course, ang ating pong penalty is dismissal. And aside from dismissal, aside na matatanggal ka sa trabaho, i-require ka din ng company na ibalik yung pera or yung property na kinuha. Okay? O kaya kung hindi, wala naman yung property, for example, kumuha ka ng computer, nabenta na yung computer. O kaya kumuha ka ng, ano bang mga tools? Kumuha ka ng pliers, kunyari, o kaya ng screwdriver. Tapos nabenta na or nawala na. So, ang ano na lang dyan ng company is, of course, yung equivalent ang kukunin, ang ibabalik mo sa property. I mean, sa company. Next is section 2, fraudulent or illegitimate withdrawal, acquisition or release to other persons of company funds or property. Penalty nito is dismissal, and ganun din po, you will be required to return the property o kaya yung gamit or its equivalent. Section 3, removing from company premises, concealing or deliberately misplacing company property without the required authority for doing so. For this kasi, ang alam po natin dito is of course, lahat po ng mga properties natin, mga kagamitan natin, may specific needs yan. So kapag kinuha, we have the obligation, we have the responsibility to return it kung saan natin kinuha. Otherwise, misplace po talaga natin ang mga bagay. So, if we are not being careful at mawala yan, o kaya sinadya mo naman talagang iwala, penalty is first offense, 7 to 15 days suspension, and to return property concealed or misplaced or its equivalent. Second offense, 16 to 30 days suspension, and to return property concealed or misplaced or its equivalent. Third offense is dismissal, and to return property concealed or misplaced or its equivalent. Section 4, unauthorized use of company property resulting to loss or damage. If ever it resulted to damage, and then meron tayong tinatawag na minor kasi we get the value, the equivalent value of the property. Anything of value but not exceeding 50,000 pesos. Penalty for that is 17 to 15 days suspension for first offense. Lahat po yan ay kailangan nating i-replace yung property or bayaran yung equivalent. So first offense, 7 to 15 days suspension, and then pataas ng pataas, the more na pag paulit-ulit na ginagawa, pataas siya ng pataas. Hanggang sa, if pangatlong beses mo na siyang nagawa, it will be dismissal and to replace or pay its equivalent. Meron naman po tayong tinatawag na major. If we have minor, na hindi lalagpas ng 50,000. Ang major naman is anything of value amounting to more than 50,000 pesos. So kapag lumagpas na yan ng 50,000, considered na siya as magpo-fall sa category na major. If it's a major property, first offense pa lang, 16 to 30 days suspension na siya, and of course, to replace or pay its equivalent. And then, pangalawang beses po natin siyang gagawin, it will be, or you will have a penalty of dismissal. And again, since this involves company funds or property, you will be required to replace the property or to pay its equivalent. Section 5, negligent acts or omissions causing loss or damage to company property. If it resulted to damage, again, meron tayong minor. Penalty is 7 to 15 days suspension for the first offense. And ganun din po ulit, you will be required to return the cost incurred by the company for the replacement or repair of the property lost or damaged. Hanggang sa, if makulit mo na naman siya sa pangalawa, pangatlong beses, on the third offense, you will be dismissed from service and you will be required to return the cost incurred by the company for replacing or having the property repaired or replaced. Yun po ang magiging penalty for that. If major naman po siya, first offense will be 16 to 30 days suspension and to return cost incurred by the company for the replacement or repair of the property lost or damaged. And if pangalawang beses po siyang nangyari, you will be dismissed from service. Okay? Now, Section 6, negligent acts or omissions causing loss or damage to company property due to unnecessary trip cancellation. Of course, here, we will require to include loss of revenue and or damaged cargoes. Unfortunately, meron po talagang mga ganong instances na dahil sa kapabayaan po ng ating mga employees, nagkakaroon tayo ng cancellation, unnecessary cancellation ng mga trip natin. Of course, we don't want that to happen. And in order for us to prevent it from happening, we have it here in our code of conduct. And kapag po nagkaroon po tayo ng negligent act For this, the penalty is, of course, dismissal. Section 7, defacing any part of company property like buildings, ships, structures, open areas, unauthorized painting, marking, attaching, setting up or removal of things and other analogous to the foregoing. Ganun din po, we consider the value. So for minor, 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense plus to return cost incurred to restore the property. Again, if you keep on doing the same thing again, the same violation, up to your third offense, you will be dismissed from service and then you will be required to return cost incurred to restore the property. If the value exceeds 50,000 pesos, your penalty for first offense is 16 to 30 days suspension plus to return the cost incurred to restore the property, and for the second offense, you will be dismissed from service and you will be required to return the cost incurred to restore the property. For Section 8, improperly using or allowing an authorized person to use company supplies, materials, facilities, tools, or equipment resulting in loss or damage. Use of facilities shall be properly approved. If the cost is minor, because there are instances po talaga na may mga tao na pinapagamit yung mga company property sa ibang tao. Ibang tao, ibig sabihin nito, doesn't have to be a third, pwede kasing katrabaho mo pa rin, pero hindi siya yung authorized na gumamit. For example, ikaw lang talaga yung authorized gumamit na yun. For example, it's computer. Ang computer, kunyari, ako lang ang authorized gumamit ng computer na to. Pero pinahiram ko sa ibang tao. Tapos, syempre, yung tao na yun, hindi na siya authorized. Kasi nga sa akin in-issue yung laptop eh. Sa akin in-issue yung computer. Since pinayagan ko yung ibang tao na hindi authorized gumamit, tapos nasira niya, ako yung mape-penalize kasi ako yung may accountability dun sa property. So, pag nangyari po yun, I will be suspended for 7 to 15 days suspension plus to return cost incurred to restore the property. So that will be my penalty for the first offense. Pag inulit-ulit ko yon hanggang pangatlong beses, I will be dismissed and then I will have to return the cost incurred to restore para ipaayos yung laptop. Okay po? If the cost exceeds 50,000 for the first time, first offense, I will be suspended for 16 to 30 days plus to return cost incurred to restore the property. And then I will be dismissed for the second offense, and I will be required to return the cost incurred to restore the property. For Section 9, meddling with or preventing the proper use of machines, tools, equipment, vehicles, ships, facilities, or premises which the employee had not been authorized. So again, we have the equivalent value here. If it's minor, penalty is 7 to 15 days suspension for the first offense plus to return cost incurred to restore the property. Up to third offense, that will be dismissal plus to return cost incurred to restore the property. If the property or the damage amounts to more than 50,000 for the first offense, that will be 16 to 30 days suspension plus to return cost incurred to restore the property, and dismissal for second offense plus to return cost incurred to restore the property. Now for Section 10, deliberate or gross neglect in giving notification or in providing the known and material information to persons concerned resulting in loss or damage to company or its property. Ano po bang example nito? So for Section 10, we all have the responsibility to inform the management in case may makita tayong damage. May makita tayong, in case na meron tayong makitang irregularity, we have to inform the company. We all have that responsibility. Otherwise, if hindi natin na-report, hindi mapipigilan, hindi maayos before siya maging malaking issue. So kapag ganun po, we want to be proactive. We want all the employees to be proactive. Hindi tayo reactive. Hindi tayo gagawa ng solusyon kasi may nasira na. We want as much as possible na walang masira because nagiging proactive tayo. Because tinitignan natin, pinipigilan natin na bago pa lumaki yung gulo, yung issue, or yung sira, pipigilan na natin. Otherwise, we could be liable under Section 10 of Article 1. For first offense, under minor, it will be 16 to 30 days suspension plus return cost incurred to restore the property. And then dismissal for the second offense. Now, if it's major, the value costs more than 50,000 pesos, first offense will be dismissal plus the return cost incurred to restore the property. Now, Section 11, carelessness, negligence, or any dereliction of duty to follow specific instructions from immediate superior or management or established procedures resulting in loss or damage to company property or resulting to death. So we all have our job descriptions. We all have our specific roles and responsibilities. Ngayon, if through negligence or pagiging pabaya is hindi natin nasunod yung ating process, hindi natin nasunod ang ating duties and responsibilities to the point na nagkaroon ng loss or damage sa company o kaya death, sakop din yan ng ating code of conduct. For minor, it will be 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense plus the return cost incurred to restore the property hanggang dismissal for the third offense plus the return cost incurred to restore the property. Now, if it's major, that means it costs more than 50,000 or it has resulted to death, the penalty is dismissal plus the return cost incurred to restore the property. Now, for Section 12, failure to report or to return within 72 hours upon notice of receipt of erroneous payment or overpayment of salary, commission, allowance, or other forms of remuneration or reimbursement. Nangyayari po talaga to na minsan nagkakamali ang bangko or nagkakamali ang payroll natin na lumalabas is mahigit or sobra yung ating sinahod. And then, ni-notify ka ng HR na please return the amount of, for example, 5,000 pesos as that 5,000 pesos is in excess of what you are supposed to receive for that cut-off. Kapag na-receive mo na yung notice na yon, notification na yun from HR, and within 72 hours from that notice, hindi mo binalik yung amount, you will be liable under the Code of Conduct. So, under the Code of Conduct, if the amount involved is equivalent to 10% or less ng iyong monthly salary, papasok siya sa minor. If it falls under minor, penalty mo for the first offense will be written reprimand and to return the erroneous payment made. Hanggang sa, for the fifth offense, 5 beses na po nagkamali at 5 beses mo na rin hindi nabalik upon notice yung excess fund or yung excess payment, you will be dismissed from service and the penalty is you will be dismissed and you will be required, to return the erroneous payment made. Yun po, ang Section 12 minor. Now, if it's major, or the amount involved is equivalent to more than 10%. Kung si minor is less than 10%, si major naman is more than 10% of your monthly salary, penalty will be 3 to 6 days suspension and to return the erroneous payment made for the first offense. So if minor, ang first offense is penalty for first offense is written reprimand. For major naman, ang penalty for first offense is 3 to 6 days suspension. Hanggang sa pang-apat na beses na siya nangyari, dismissal and to return the erroneous payment made. Okay? So now, for Section 13, committing other acts of dishonesty, deceit, or anomaly not embraced by other provisions herein, which cause loss or damage to company property. So, for example, dito sa Section 13, meron kang kasinungalingan na sinabi or kaya meron kang dineceive mo yung company. Pero yung deception na ginawa mo or yung pagsisinungaling na ginawa mo is hindi nagfo-fall in any specific articles ng Code of Conduct. Dito siya magfo-fall sa Section 13. If it's minor, first offense is 7 to 15 days suspension plus the return cost incurred to restore the property until second offense, it will be 16 to 30 days suspension plus the return cost incurred to restore the property. Now, last, of course, will be dismissal and you will be required, of course, to return the cost incurred to restore the property. Now, for major is anything of value more than 50,000 pesos. Offense is 16 to 30 days suspension. plus the return cost incurred to restore the property for first offense. And then second offense would be dismissal, plus the return cost incurred to restore the property. Section 14, failure to liquidate cash advance without justifiable reason within 7 working days from end of transaction. For this one po, madami talaga dito nagkakaroon ng problem because we are required to liquidate our cash advance within 7 days, 7 working days from end of transaction. If hindi po natin siya mabalik or maliquidate within the required period, our penalty for first offense will be written reprimand. And then, for fourth offense, that will be dismissal na po. Now, for Article 2, acts or omissions affecting company interest. For Article 2, Section 1, forging, falsifying, or altering official public documents, company documents, commercial documents in such a way as to mislead the users thereof. Ano po ang ibig sabihin yan? Marami akong case na nahahandle nito. Forging, halimbawa, ako na lang pala. Halimbawa, yung aking DTR, yung aking attendance, absent ako ng 2 days, pero ang ilalagay ko is present ako. So, that will fall under falsifying. O kaya naman is, meron akong document na kailangan ko nang i-release, pero yung boss ko is naka-leave. Tapos, kailangan ko na talaga ng pirma niya. So, ang gagawin ko na lang is, gagayahin ko na lang yung pirma niya without his authority. So, that will fall naman under forging. So, yung mga public documents, company documents, ang example po niyan is yung mga forms ng Coast Guard, forms ng Marina, forms ng PPA, yung po yung mga public documents. O kaya is yung mga nanotaryohan, yun, public documents yun. Company documents, we have so many forms. For example nga po is yung sa DTR. Another example is overtime form. So, hindi ako pinayagan mag-overtime pero nag-overtime ako. Gagayahin ko na lang yung signature ng superior ko. So, that's forging. Yun yung mga example po niyan. Ang penalty for that is dismissal because we value honesty dito po sa company natin. Okay? Section 2 is making use of records or document known by the user to be false. Ano pong example niyan? Alam natin na hindi yan yung document, pero ginamit natin. Ginamit natin siya, for example, hiningian tayo ng canvas sheet. Tapos, meron tayong canvas sheet na na-prepare pero alam natin na nagbago na yung presyo nung item doon sa tindahan. Pero, ginamit pa din natin yun. Yun pa din yung sinabit natin sa office. So, that is an example for this section. Penalty for that is dismissal. Section 3, soliciting, obtaining, or accepting money or anything of value by entering into an authorized arrangement with with suppliers, OJTs, or other clients. So for this one, penalty is dismissal, okay? Because this is a form of bribery. This is a form of corruption, okay? So yung pag-a-accept po ng mga anything of value kahit hindi yan cash, basta anything of value by entering into an authorized arrangement, lalo na sa mga suppliers, yung mga ganyan, yan po ay with a penalty ng dismissal. Section 4, soliciting unauthorized acceptance. Soliciting or unauthorized acceptance directly or indirectly of money or anything of value, or as a consideration for an act, a decision, or a service which the employee is duty-bound to perform. Offering to a co-employee directly or indirectly of money or anything of value as consideration for an act, a decision, or a service which the co-employee is duty-bound to perform whether or not the co-employee accepts the offer. Okay, so clarify ko po ito, no? Halimbawa, nag-apply tayo ng OT. Tapos, hindi pa ina-approve ng superior natin. So, ang gagawin, pupunta ako kay HR. Sabihin ko kay HR, i-credit mo naman na yung yung overtime ko na 12 hours. Tapos sasabihin ko na libre kita ng Jollibee. Kunyari, ganon, di ba? O kaya, um, libre kita ng dinner. Pero credit mo na yung ano ko, yung overtime ko para naman may pang-dinner tayo. Tapos, sasabihin ni employee, oy, hindi, ayoko kasi nga baka mahuli ako. So the mere fact na nagsabi ka nun, the mere fact na in-approach mo siya, inofferan mo siya, pero kahit hindi niya ginawa, that is already punishable under our code of conduct. Okay? So penalty for first offense is 7 to 15 days, 16 to 30 days. Suspension naman for second offense and then dismissal for the third offense. Okay? Okay. Now, what if naman ginawa ni employee? So, liable ka na for offering, liable din siya for accepting your offer. So, pareho yan. Under this section, 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense, 16 to 30 days suspension for second offense, and then dismissal for third offense. Next is unauthorized offering to any employee of any institution, government, or otherwise, directly or indirectly, of company fund or property or anything of value as a consideration for an act, a decision, or a service which the employee is duty-bound to perform, whether or not the employee accepts the offer. An authorized offering of company funds or company property which the government employee is duty-bound to perform. So ano pong example nito? For example, pupunta ako, magre-renew ako ng permit to operate, let's say. Permit to operate ako ang merong responsibility to renew. So pupunta ako ngayon kay LGU kasi requirement ang business permit kay LGU. So, para mapabilis kay LGU yung pag-process niya ng business permit ko, o-offeran ko siya ng lunch, kunyari. Ako nasagot ng lunch mo, ma'am. Process lang natin to bukas kasi deadline na po ng permit to operate namin. Kailangan ko na talaga. So, yung mga ganong actions, that is punishable under our code of conduct. Okay? So, for first offense, if that happens, first offense, I will be suspended for 16 to 30 days suspension. Second offense, I will be dismissed from service. So again, please be reminded, hindi kailangang tanggapin nung inofferan mo yung offer mo para maging liable. Okay? So kahit hindi niya tanggapin, the mere fact na inoffer mo, you are liable for, or I am liable for this specific provision of our code of conduct. Section 5, unauthorized use of company name to obtain personal benefits. Penalty is 16 to 30 days suspension. Second offense is dismissal. So, what does this mean? Gagamitin natin si FastCat for any transaction na hindi ka naman authorized na gamitin si FastCat. For example, sasabihin mo na ipapalabas mo sa mga tao na, nagtatrabaho po ako sa FastCat. Okay? Kasi nga, you want to give that impression na taga-FastCat ako, pwede kita mabigyan ng voucher, pwede kita mabigyan ng free ride, yung mga ganon. Kahit na hindi mo sinasabi yun, pero parang ganon yung implication. And you are unauthorized to use the company name para sa personal benefit natin. So, syempre, hindi yan i ano man tawag doon? Hindi yan acceptable. So, that will be punishable under the code of conduct, and you will be suspended 16 to 30 days suspension for the first offense and then dismissal for the second offense. Next is extortion or any form of oppressive exaction of money or anything of value from co-employee or from company guests or clients. What does this mean? Extortion, for example, peak season. Peak season, 'di ba? So ang haba-haba ng pila, Kunyari, let's say Matnog. Ang haba-haba ng pila sa Matnog ng mga truck. Tapos, merong mag-o-offer sa ng o kaya ikaw mismo magsasabi na pengen naman akong pangkape diyan. Baka naman may pangkape tayo diyan para mauna ka sa pila. Yung mga ganon. Yun yung example ng extortion. So kahit kape yan, hindi kailangang thousands of money ang hingin mo. Kahit magkano pa yan, you will be liable under this provision of the Code of Conduct and you will be dismissed from service. That will be the penalty na katapat ng paghingi ng kape. Okay? Section 7, damaging, jeopardizing company interests through acts, omissions, or commissions which affect company clients, guests, visitors, or other business friends of the management. Stealing from said clients or business friends of the management. Penalty is 16 to 30 days suspension for the first offense and dismissal for the second offense. Next is uttering words or doing acts or making gestures to said clients, guests, or visitors or friends which are manifestly insulting or grossly disrespectful or discourteous. So ano tong mga to? Halimbawa, nagkaroon tayo ng sobrang daming tao, nagiging impatient na tayo, nagiging mainit na yung situation, hanggang sa hindi na natin na-control yung ating temper, sinigawan na natin, minura-mura na natin yung tao, or kahit hindi natin murahin, pero yung paano natin itrato yung customer natin is nakakabastos na or nakaka-insulto na sa kanila, dito po yan magfo-fall. For this act, you will be penalized with 3 to 6 days suspension for your first offense. Hanggang sa fourth offense, pag paulit-ulit nangyayari, you will be dismissed from service. And then other analogous circumstances, 16 to 30 days suspension for first offense and second offense is dismissal. Now for Section 8, knowingly making false or malicious statements about the company or its products, services, employees, officers, directors, whether in print media, social media, or broadcast media. So these are those statements na sinasabi natin na hindi totoo o kaya naman is malicious na nakakasira na tungkol sa company, tungkol sa ka-empleyado mo, tungkol sa officers ng company. So if it's a false statement, ano ibig sabihin ng false statement? Alam natin, hindi po yan totoo. Okay? Yun ang false. True or false? False, hindi totoo. Hindi totoo. Penalty is 16 to 30 days suspension. Second offense is dismissal. If malicious statement naman, malicious meaning nakakapanira, hindi meron tayong intention na manira, yun yung malicious. Penalty is first offense is dismissal. Section 9, engaging in any activity which is directly competitive with the company's business or any part of its operation unless authorized or consented to by the management. Penalty is dismissal. Section 10, deliberately disclosing or giving away or using restricted or classified company materials, information, or those covered under NDA or ang tinatawag natin na non-disclosure agreement without proper authorization. First offense is 16 to 30 days suspension. Second offense is dismissal. Of course, there are certain information na hindi natin pwedeng nire-reveal sa third party. Okay? Or kahit na actually sa co-employee mo basta hindi ka authorized to give that information. Dito po yan papasok. So for example, ako sa HR, ang dami kong confidential information na alam because of the nature of my responsibility of my work. So yung mga yon, I have to keep those to myself. Otherwise, I will be liable under Section 10. Section 11, distributing written or printed materials unfavorable or detrimental to the interests of the company. Ano pong example nito? So yung mga written or printed materials na yan, covered po dyan ang social media because that is a form of writing. Yung mga nakapost sa social media na yan, o kaya naman is talagang sinulat natin, pinrint natin, pinagkalat natin sa mga tao. Yan. Tapos, unfavorable or detrimental sa company, yan po ay may penalty na 3 to 6 days suspension for the first offense. And then up to fourth offense, that will already be equivalent to dismissal. Okay? Section 12, posting of unauthorized reading materials or on company bulletin boards or unauthorized removal officially posted notices, announcement, or similar materials. Penalty is written reprimand. Up to fifth offense, that will be equivalent to, or that will have a penalty of dismissal. Because yung mga nakapost sa bulletin boards na yan ay posted there for a reason. That is to share information. That is to share announcements. If you remove those, mawawalan tayo ng um, another way to communicate or to spread information to our co-employees. And then if we post naman unauthorized materials, syempre, those bulletin boards, those pages are only for official announcements. Okay? So, kaya pinagbabawal both ang mag-post ng unauthorized materials and magtanggal ng mga posted materials. Unlawfully inciting or unlawfully participating in concerted work stoppage, riot, or other similar disruptive activities under Section 13. So here is, please be mindful of the word unlawfully. Okay? Kasi meron naman pong lawful. Pero if it's unlawful, yun yung pinagbabawal na natin sa ating Code of Conduct. So, mere fact of inciting employees, that is already punishable. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng mere fact of inciting employees? Yung mere fact na nag-iengganyo tayo na mag-unlawful work stoppage, mag-unlawful riot, or magkaroon ng unlawful disruptive activities, kahit hindi mo sila na-incite, kahit hindi sila na-engganyo, that is already punishable under our Code of Conduct with a penalty of 16 to 30 days suspension for the first offense and second offense na dismissal naman ang equivalent penalty. And then, if you participated in unlawful stoppage, riot, or other disruptive activities, that will have a penalty equivalent to dismissal naman. Okay? Section 14, unlawful deliberate slowing down, holding back, or hindering or limiting of production work output, or intimidating, coercing, or inducing other employees to do so, that will have a penalty of dismissal for the first offense. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Sinabi natin na, halimbawa yung barko, binagalan natin, sinadya natin na bagalan talaga yung takbo niya. Kahit na kaya niya naman na mas mabilis pa. O kaya is, sinadya natin na yung ating pagtrabaho is binabagalan talaga natin. Kasi meron tayong pinoprotesta. And ang ating paraan sa pagprotesta is bagalan yung ating trabaho. And that is unlawfully mo na ginagawa. Penalty mo dyan is dismissal for the first offense. And then for Section 15, committing other culpable acts or omissions not embraced by other provisions which cause damage to company interests, penalty is 16 to 30 days suspension for first offense, and second offense will be for dismissal na. Okay? So, yan. For Article 2, this is in relation to company interest. Okay, now let's go to Article 3. Acts or omissions concerning relationship with superiors, colleagues, attendance to, and performance of assigned duties. For Article 3, acts or omissions concerning relationship with superiors, colleagues, attendance to, and performance of assigned duties. Section 1. Threatening, intimidating, coercing, provoking to a fight, assaulting, or attacking a superior. Threatening, intimidating, coercing, provoking to a fight will have a penalty of 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense. And then second offense is 16 to 30 days suspension. And third offense is dismissal. If naman, nag-assault ka na or inattack mo yung iyong superior, ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Assaulting is nanakit ka na. Okay? Attacking is inatake mo yung iyong superior, you will have a penalty of 16 to 30 days suspension for first offense, dismissal naman po para sa second offense. Okay? So kapag tinakot mo siya, in-intimidate mo siya, so yan po, o kaya hinamon mo ng away, 7 to 15 days yon for first offense. Section 2 is insubordination. Ano po bang ibig sabihin ng insubordination? Ibig sabihin yan is unjustifiable refusal to obey any lawful orders of an immediate superior or manager, whether written or verbal. Meron sa'yong inutos yung superior mo. Sinabihan ka na Kunyari, sinabihan ka na, linisin mo yung mga drum ng used oil, ibaba mo pagdating natin sa next port. 'Di ba? That is a lawful order. Okay? That is a lawful instruction. Pero ayaw mong sundin. Hindi mo sinunod. Okay? Hindi mo and then ang reason mo lang is ayoko. That is an unjustifiable refusal. So you will have a penalty of 7 to 15 days suspension for your first offense, 16 to 30 days suspension for the second offense, and third offense will be dismissal. Okay, next is section 3. Behaving with disrespect, such as, but not limited to, uttering words, doing acts, or making gestures which are manifestly insulting or grossly disrespectful towards a superior. So, pwede kasi na yung pagiging disrespectful natin sa ating superior, ibig sabihin lang sa section 3 is hindi siya limited sa words. Okay? Hindi siya limited sa actions na obviously is nang iinsulto ka o kaya naman is talagang nambabastos ka na. Okay? So, any form of disrespect will be under Section 3 of Article 3 and will have a penalty of 7 to 15 days suspension for the first offense. And then second offense is 16 to 30 days suspension. And third offense is dismissal. Okay? Okay. Next is Section 4. On the part of the superior, deliberately condoning, tolerating, or participating in an offense committed by a subordinate. Deliberate failure to report or initiate disciplinary action against an erring subordinate. So, dalawa yung nasasakop ng Section 4. Of course, hindi naman pwede na si superior is pinapabayaan. Okay? Pinapabayaan o tinotolerate yung mga kamalian ng kanyang subordinate. Of course, all superiors are expected to make sure that their employee or that their subordinates are following the company's policies, companies' processes, that they are performing their roles and their responsibilities. And if ito naman si superior is pinapabayaan lang, tinotolerate lang siya, minsan pa is nakikisama pa sa mga kalokohan ng kanyang subordinate, that will be under Section 4. And in case na yun nga yung ginawa niya, tinolerate niya, at sumali pa siya, first offense will be 16 to 30 days suspension, and second offense will be for dismissal. If ever naman that the superior does not or fails to report or fails to initiate disciplinary action against an erring employee, alam niya na nagkakamali pero hindi niya nire-report, that will have a penalty of 7 to 15 days suspension, second offense 16 to 30 days suspension, and third offense of this with a penalty of dismissal. So, yung reason ng superior na nakakaawa kasi, masususpend, that is not an acceptable reason that could make you liable under Section 4. Okay? Next is Section 5. On the part of the superior, clear abuse of a position, authority, or discretion. Of course, we're not just limiting this article, we're not just limiting Article 3 sa mga subordinates. Of course, we also have to look into the performance as well of the superior. And we are not also allowing that they will be abusive of their position na. They will be abusive of their authority. So for Section 5, ito naman yung mga superiors na there are instances kasi talaga na nang-aabuso naman sila superior sa kanilang position, sa kanilang authority. If that happens, they will fall under Section 5 with a penalty of 7 to 15 days suspension for the first offense. Second offense is 16 to 30 days suspension, and then dismissal for the third offense. For Section 6, gross and habitual neglect of assigned duty. So ito talaga yung sobrang pabaya na siya na empleyado tapos paulit-ulit niya ng ginagawa. An example of this is laging absent. Frequent absenteeism is considered gross and habitual neglect of assigned duty. Bakit? Because you are duty bound to report to work. you are expected, you have the responsibility to report to work because you have your particular responsibility dahil umabsent ka, that will have a chain reaction. Okay? At kapag paulit-ulit mo nang ginagawa yan, you will fall under Section 6 with a penalty of dismissal. So, medyo mabigat itong Section 6 kasi first offense pa lang, dismissal na yan agad. Section 7 is obtaining a final rating of below expectations in the performance appraisal. So, baka naman sabihin niyo na, bakit naman siya violation ng code of conduct if below expectation ako sa performance ko? Of course, all employees are expected to perform um sa kanilang perform well sa kanilang trabaho. Ngayon, kung meron tayong siniset na standard and all employees are expected to meet that standard. If hindi mo siya na-meet, ang penalty natin is you will be entered you will be under our performance improvement program or tinatawag natin na PIP. Employee will be placed under observation for a period of 3 months. Diyan sa 3 months period na yan, you will be placed under the PIP program and you will be given specific tasks, specific objectives that you have to meet. Otherwise, after the 3-month period, because you will be evaluated after the 3 months na binigay sa'yo, if you fail again, failure to pass, you will be suspended for 5 to 10 days. And then, pagbalik mo from your suspension, you will again be placed under another observations for another 3 months. Again, with clear objectives, clear proof kung anong kailangan mong ipakita, and then that will be for another 3 months, and then failure to pass again, the second program, you will be terminated or dismissed from service. Okay? So, under Section 7, if you get the below expectations in your performance appraisal, you will be given 2 chances, 2 opportunities to show na kaya ko mag-improve with my performance. Otherwise, failure to pass 2 chances under our performance improvement program, you will be terminated or dismissed from service. Section 8, refusal or failure to do assigned task or to obey official orders, instructions, or to follow established procedures. Penalty is 3 to 6 days suspension for the first offense, and then second offense, 7 to 15 days suspension. Third offense, 16 to 30 days suspension, and fourth offense is dismissal. So any official orders, any official instructions, yung mga official orders, official instructions na yan, they come in written documents like our processes. Yan, kapag hindi mo na follow yan, Section 8 can apply. Section 9, refusal or failure to rectify audit findings within time specified. So, we constantly do audits, we constantly audit ourselves. Internally, we do that. Externally, we do that. Why? Because we want to make sure that we are meeting the standards na sinet natin. Otherwise, hindi natin yon ma-ensure. So, one way for us to do that is to constantly audit. And in the event na meron nakita sa audit na kailangang i-rectify, you will be given a period of time to do so. And failure to do so, failure to rectify the audit findings within time specified, let's say 15 days, you will have a penalty of 3 to 6 days suspension for your first offense. Hanggang sa, if it happens the 4th time, that will be a dismissal from service. Okay, so that's Section 9. Section 10 is refusal or failure without justifiable reason to render overtime work after having been instructed, ordered, given instruction, after having been instructed or ordered and given considering the exigencies of the circumstances. In case meron kang refusal or umayaw ka, that is also punishable under our Code of Conduct with 3 to 6 days suspension for first offense hanggang sa paulit-ulit hanggang pang-4 na beses, that will have a penalty of dismissal because of the nature of our operations, we are running 24/7. There will really be times na i-require tayo na mag-overtime. It doesn't happen all the time, but may instances talaga na ganun. And if that happens and you refuse or you fail to follow without justifiable reason, you will be penalized under the Code of Conduct. Section 11, exaggerating or pretending to be sick, making or giving false excuses for a leave of absence. Yung mga sinasabi dyan na masama po pakiramdam ko, and then makikita na lang natin sa social media, nag-beach pala sila, o kaya is, meron lang kasi siyang inuman na pupuntahan. So yan, yung mga mag-fall dyan sa Section 11. Penalty for first offense is written reprimand, and then if you keep on repeating the same offense, that will have a penalty of dismissal the fifth time. Okay? Sleeping while on duty is also punishable. Bakit? Magpapahinga lang naman po ako. Because a lot is at stake while we are at work, especially if on board. Okay? So, hindi talaga, we are really discouraging sleeping while on duty. Well, not discouraging. Bawal po talagang matulog while on duty. Okay? So, kasi pwedeng magkaroon ng accident dahil na imbes na aware tayo sa nangyayari sa surroundings natin, but because we're sleeping, hindi natin nakita, hindi natin napigilan hanggang sa nagkaroon ng accident. So that's just one of an example why we are not tolerating sleeping while on duty. Okay, so if that happens, the penalty will be 3 to 6 days suspension for first offense until dismissal for the fourth time na gagawin siya. Okay? Next is section 13, doing personal engagement, work activities during work hours. Because we are being paid during our working hours. So we're not supposed to do personal engagements, personal work, or personal activities during working hours. Okay po? So if ever this is violated, penalty for first offense is written reprimand, and then second offense, 3 to 6 days suspension until fifth offense, which will have a penalty of dismissal. Okay, so that's section 13. Let's go to section 14. Section 14 is engaging during work hours in horseplay, scuffling, shoving, or other similar playful activities which are time-wasting or which could be injurious to persons or property. Bawal din po yan, naglalaro while working, nagtutulakan, nagtutuksuhan, yung mga ganyan, because that is time wasted. Okay? So, dapat pag work hours is you're expected to be working. Okay? So, aside from it being a time wasting or nasasayang na oras, pwede din kasi siyang mag-result to injury sa mga tao o kaya sa property. And being safety conscious, of course, we should not be doing that. And if ever magkakaroon tayo ng ganyang violation for first offense, that will be a written reprimand. And then for the fifth time, the penalty will be dismissal. Okay. Section 15, wasting time in any other way during official working hours, whether within the company, premises, or on official business. So kahit anong form of wasting time yan, penalty is the same with section 14, written reprimand for first offense until dismissal for the fifth time or fifth offense. For section 16, abandonment of duty anytime during shift. Okay? So kapag pumasok ka na sa trabaho, tapos bigla kang umalis, makikipiesta lang po ako pero babalik ako after 2 hours. So that is a form of abandonment, okay? So kahit na 2 hours ka lang nawala, 1 hour ka lang nawala, pero you went out for a while for purposes that is not work related, that is abandonment. Penalty is 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense until dismissal if you commit the same for the third time. Okay? So that's section 16. Now, section 17, unauthorized absence without justifiable reason. For 2 consecutive days, penalty lang po niyan muna is written reprimand. Hanggang sa paulit-ulit ka, uma-absent ka ng 2 araw straight, that is dismissal if you do it for the fifth time. Okay? Because you're expected to report to work. Kasi nga po, yung isang absence mo lang is that will have a domino effect na. Okay? So affected na yung mga kasamahan mo because they will have to go straight sa duty nila. Meron nang madedelay na trabaho. So yan. Unauthorized absence um is really not encouraged. Kaya siya pinipenalize. Ngayon, if more than 2 days, 2 consecutive days ka na absent, if it's 3 to 5 consecutive days, first offense will be 7 to 15 days na. Suspension na yan. Kasi nga, mahaba na yun 3 to 5 days suspension. Imagine mo, 3 to 5 consecutive days na absent ka. Sobrang laking implication na yan sa kasamahan mo, sa operation. Yan. Kaya, 7 to 15 days suspension na yan for the first offense. Hanggang dismissal if gagawin mo ulit ng pangatlong beses. Now, for 6 or more consecutive days, first offense, 16 to 30 days suspension ang penalty for first offense. Kasi, grabe na yung 6 days or more kang absent na sunod-sunod. Diba? So, hindi na talaga acceptable. So, for the second time that you do that, you will have a penalty of dismissal. Okay. Next is section 18. Frequent tardiness. This was what I said kanina during the intro. Frequent tardiness of at least, sorry, this should be 3 days. Frequent tardiness of at least 3 times in one cut-off or 3 days in one cut-off. Yan po yung ibig sabihin yan. 3 beses kang malate in one cut-off. That is already punishable under our code of conduct. Okay? The tardiness na sinasabi dito is on top of the grace period. So for port employees and for head office employees, actually also for vessel employees. Though the vessel hindi kasi talaga tatakbo yung vessel kapag kulang tayo ng tao. So for those na for employees, we have this what we call grace period. So, hindi ka mako-consider na tardy or late if dadating ka within the grace period allowed. But, if nalagpasan mo yung grace period na yan, automatic yan, maka-count na yan. Okay? So, that is 1, equivalent to 1. Now, within the cutoff is in 15 days. Within that cutoff, na-late ka for 3 days, on top of the grace period, Section 18 na po ng Code of Conduct ang iyong mababiolate which has a penalty of written reprimand for first offense. Hanggang sa paulit-ulit, lagi kang late, lagi kang lumalagpas ng grace period, pang 5 beses, you will be dismissed from service. Okay? Next, Article 3, Section 19 of Article 3 is any form of sexual harassment as defined under Republic Act number 7877 or the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. Any act po na magpo-fall dyan sa Republic Act number 7877 will have a penalty of dismissal. Okay? So, yan ang Section 19. Hindi ko na po siya enumerate kasi mahaba po talaga ang Section 19. And then Section 20 is committing other acts of insubordination or neglect of duty not embraced by other provisions. This will have a penalty of 16 to 30 days suspension for first offense and penalty of dismissal naman for second offense. Okay? So kahit anong insubordination yan, kahit anong neglect of duty yan, tapos hindi siya embraced by other provisions, dito siya magfo-fall sa Section 20, Article 3. Okay? Okay. So next will be Article 4. Article 4 is actual missions concerning harmony, good order, safety, and decency at work. Okay, so ano-ano po ba ang nasa Article 4? Under Article 4, Section 1, threatening, intimidating, coercing, or provoking to a fight or fighting except due to self-defense, another employee within company premises or while on duty or attending to company sanctioned activities. So, hinamon mo, tinakot mo, in-intimidate mo, pinrovoke mo na makipag-away, o kaya is nag-away na talaga kayo, So, ang penalty niyan is 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense. Second offense is 16 to 30 days suspension or dismissal sa third offense. So, for this section, hindi siya limited lang sa company premises. Pwede siyang outside if it's a company sanctioned activity. Okay? So, yun yung section 1. Section 2 is encouraging, assisting, or deliberately providing occasion to non-employee or third parties to threaten or physically attack and or harm a co-employee within company premises. Penalty is 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense hanggang dismissal for third offense. Ano po bang ibig sabihin nito? Yung in-encourage mo, tinulungan mo pa yung ibang tao, especially third party or or mga non-employees, na magkaroon siya ng opportunity na i-attack yung iyong kasamahan o kaya is takutin yung iyong kasamahan sa company premises. Halimbawa, meron kang, excuse me, halimbawa, meron kang naging disagreement with your co-employee. So, ang ginawa mo is, kunyari, meron lang bibisita sa'yo na kapatid mo, kapamilya mo, or kaibigan mo, pero ang ano talaga is, para puntahan yung kasamahan mo na nagkaroon ka ng disagreement, para hamunin siya um, or para awayin siya. So, yun yung nandito sa Section 1. Next is Section 2, encouraging, assisting, or deliberately providing occasion to non-employee or third parties to threaten or physically attack and or harm a co-employee within company premises. Penalty niyan is 7 to 15 days suspension. And second offense, 16 to 30 days suspension. And third offense is dismissal. Yon. So, inulit ko lang pala siya. Next is Section 3, participating in loud and heated verbal arguments during official working hours and or within the company premises. Okay, so this is also not limited only to company premises. Pwede pong sa labas, basta official working hours kayo, and then nakipag-away kayo sa ibang tao, sa client natin, or pwede rin kasamahan ninyo sa trabaho. If that happens, you will be imposed a penalty of written reprimand for the first offense until if paulit-ulit, mainitan talaga ulo mo, mahilig kang makipag-argue, pwede kang umabot to fifth offense which has a penalty of dismissal. Section 4, using indecent, abusive, derogatory, or indecorous language directed to co-employee or subordinate while on duty or within company premises or during meetings. Yan, okay. So, syempre, we have to remain decent. We have to remain decent. We have to remain professional sa ating trabaho. So, we avoid those kinds of words. So, if that happens, penalty will be first offense, written reprimand until dismissal for fifth offense. Section 5, engaging in immoral, unethical practices, indecent affairs to employees or company guests within company premises. That will have a penalty of 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense until dismissal for the third offense. And then 6 is having romantic relationship with a co-employee, immediate superior or subordinate, or employee from another business unit. That will have a penalty of 7 to 15 days suspension until dismissal for third offense because we don't encourage those types of relationships. Section 7 is rumor mongering, unnecessary disclosure of somebody else's personal affairs, including one's salary, other benefits to others, or deliberate distortion of facts or statements in such a way as to enhance one's status or reputation or discredit, embarrass, or endanger another employee. Ano po ba to? Basically, bawal po ang mga marites. Bawal po ang chismisan. Bawal po yung mga naninira. Bawal po yung mga ganyan. Because again, we want to make sure that our environment, that we have a healthy work environment. Okay? That we are all professionals. So, yung mga chismis, yung mga paninira, hindi po yan allowed. Okay? Unnecessary disclosure of somebody else's personal affairs, hindi po yan dapat pinag-uusapan sa office. Okay? Included ang ating mga sahod. Those are confidential informations that should not be shared or discussed between employees. The penalty in case of violation is written reprimand for first offense. Okay? And then until the fifth offense, the fifth time, that will have a penalty of dismissal. Section 8 is coercing bribing or inducing others to violate company policies or rules as embodied in this code. So ito yung mga pinabribe natin yung mga tao para i-violate yung ating rules dito sa company. So, if the coercing, bribing, or inducing hindi siya nag-lead sa actual violation of company policy, the penalty, of course, for the person inducing or the person na nangbubuyo, the person na nagbabribe, first offense will have a penalty of 3 to 6 days suspension until for the fourth offense, that will be equivalent to dismissal. If ever naman that there's been an actual violation, the first offense for the person bribing, the person inducing, the person provoking will be first offense, 16 to 30 days suspension, and second offense will be dismissal. Okay po. Now, Section 9, stealing, concealing, or deliberately misplacing without justifiable purpose another employee's property within company premises or at assigned job site or during official working hours. Kahit pa po yan is, naglalaro lang kayo, so tinago mo, tinago is concealing. Tapos, without justifiable purpose, iinis ka lang, nang tutokso ka lang, that will be also in violation of our code of conduct with a penalty of 16 to 30 days suspension and to return the equivalent amount in case of first offense and equivalent to dismissal for second offense. Now, Section 10, gambling, placing, or collecting bets or participating in any game of chance during official working hours or within company premises, that will have a penalty of 3 to 6 days suspension for first offense. Syempre, hindi po natin ini-encourage, hindi po natin ina-allow, ang gambling or any form, any placing, collecting of bets, bawal po yan during official hours, official working hours, and within company premises. Okay? Now, Section 11 is unauthorized bringing in, possession of firearms, explosives, or other deadly weapons within company premises at the vessel or job site. Of course, bawal po yan, okay? Hindi po tayo pwede magdala ng barel, hindi po tayo pwedeng magdala ng deadly weapons, so kahit po yan ay kutsilyo or knife or balisong, hindi po yan allowed. That will have a penalty of dismissal. Next is Section 12, possessing, using, selling, or pushing prohibited drugs or their equivalents or substitutes within company premises, penalty is dismissal. Section 13, entering company premises under the influence of liquor during office hours or drinking liquor within company premises without authority, penalty is 16 to 30 days suspension or second offense will be dismissal. Wag po tayong iinom sa barko, wag po tayong iinom sa office, wag po tayong iinom sa port. Wag po tayong papasok ng nakainom. Okay po, marami po talaga ang nagva-violate nito. So reminder lang po, alagaan po natin ang ating trabaho. Section 14, smoking within company premises is also not allowed. Penalty for first offense is written reprimand until dismissal if this is committed for the fifth time. Section 15. Section 15 is unauthorized cooking within company premises. Penalty is first offense written reprimand hanggang fifth offense dismissal. Why? Because we are preventing accidents to happen na pwede pong maidulot ng pagluluto sa loob ng company. And of course, we also don't want the resources to be diverted po dito po sa unauthorized cooking. Section 16, unauthorized entry into restricted areas or areas of limits to the employee concerned and or unauthorized use of such places, also assisting another person to commit this act. Penalty is first offense, written reprimand until fifth offense is that will have a penalty of dismissal. Okay? Now for Section 17, holding within company premises a meeting, conference, or similar gathering which is not allowed under prevailing company policies and practices, nor permitted by a company officer or his duly authorized representative. So, yan po ay ganun din po magiging penalty if we violate this provision, which is written reprimand for first offense, 3 to 6 days suspension for second offense until dismissal for fifth offense. Okay po? Section 18, causing unclean or unsanitary conditions inside company premises, penalty is written reprimand. For first offense, second offense is 3 to 6 days suspension, hanggang dismissal po for the fifth time. Why? Because of course, we want to keep our premises clean. We don't want to be the cause or to be the reason bakit bigla na lang tayo may mga nakikitang pests around our premises. Diba? We want to make sure that everything is clean. Okay, next is Section 19, failure or refusal to comply with sanitation or housekeeping rules. For failure, penalty is written reprimand. Second offense is 3 to 6 days suspension. Third offense is 7 to 15 days suspension. Fourth offense is 16 to 30 days suspension. And fifth offense will be dismissal. If ever naman po na hindi failure ang nangyari, but deliberate refusal, ayaw mo talaga. Okay? Suspension na po ang ating first offense. Suspension of 3 to 6 days suspension until for the fourth time mo siyang gagawin na ayaw mong sumunod sa sanitation rules ng ating company, you will be dismissed from your employment. Okay? Section 20, failure or refusal to comply with company safety and security requirements. So yung isa is sanitation. This one is for safety and security. For failure, penalty is 7 to 15 days suspension for first offense. Second offense is 16 to 30 days suspension. And third offense is dismissal. In case naman po na nag-refuse kayo na sumunod sa ating safety and security requirements, you will be suspended for 16 to 30 days suspension for your first offense, and you will be dismissed from service for your second offense. Okay? Remember, we are safety conscious po dito sa FastCAD. Next is Section 21. Failure or refusal without justifiable reason to wear your official company ID. Your ID, please don't forget to always bring them with you. Your uniform, your shoes, and your observance or your failure or refusal to observe our grooming prescribed for certain jobs for purposes of safety and security. Failure is written reprimand for first offense. Second offense will be suspension for 3 to 6 days 3 to 6 days until the fifth time that will have a penalty of dismissal. In case naman you refuse to follow or to wear company ID, uniform, yung mga ganun po, first offense will have a penalty of 3 to 6 days suspension, and second offense will have a suspension of 7 to 15 days until fourth offense will have a penalty of dismissal. Okay po? Section 22, failure to follow prescribed procedures in case of sickness or personal injuries sustained at work or in cases of accidents involving company vehicles, ships, equipment, or other company property. Failure will have a penalty of written reprimand until dismissal if ever you do it or you violate this provision for the fifth time. So for this, please make sure that you are aware of the policies with regard to leave, with regard to safety, with regard to accidents, okay? That's for Section 22. And in case of failure to follow the prescribed procedures in case of sickness or injuries or accidents, for first offense, you will have a penalty of 3 to 6 days suspension until for your fourth offense, you will have a penalty of dismissal from service. Now, let's go to Section 23. Committing an act of misdemeanor not embraced by other provisions within company premises or at the ship or during official working hours. If the offense materially or substantially does not affect company interests, you will have a penalty of 3 to 6 days suspension. It does not have a substantial effect on the company interest, but still, it is still a violation. Okay? There's still a misdemeanor. Yun nga lang, hindi siya substantial. But we still don't encourage it. It is still a violation of the company policy. So you will have a suspension of 3 to 6 days suspension for the first offense. And for the fourth time, the fourth time you commit this violation, the penalty will be dismissal. And then if the offense naman po ay materially or substantially affects company interests, there will be a penalty of suspension for 7 to 15 days for the first offense. Second offense is 16 to 30 days suspension. And for the third time this violation is committed, there will be a penalty of third offense. Okay? Okay. So if you have any questions, I hope I was able to explain everything clearly. But if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to the HR Development Department. My numbers are posted below. This 096041744424 is our department's number. My personal number is 0935384540. So please don't hesitate. We are welcome to answer all your concerns, all your questions. Just send us a message, text po or call. Sumasagot po kami. Okay? So don't be shy. Huwag po kayong matakot just because we're HR. We are very open to communicate with you, to clarify any matter with you, or to address any of your concerns. Okay po? So once again, I am Cheryl Irene Banyaria. I am the manager of the HR Development Department. And thank you and welcome aboard FastCat Info. Thank you. Bye.